벌금형이라고? 다행이네. 사형까진 아니어갖고. 어제는 지역 하나 퀘스트 다 끝내고 아마 이쪽으로 그냥 바로 가서 퀘스트 따라가면 될 거예요. 스텔라베이 쪽에 퀘스트 있는 게 목사. 근데 목사인데 시내포포 쪽이거든요. 여기는 지금 메인 쪽으로 오고 그럼 목사 데리고 가자. 잠깐만, 팔바티 옷 벗겨. 내놔. 네 연애 상담 들어주는 것도 이제 지긋지긋해. 내놔 이거. 이씨, 안 벗네. 내놓으라고. 이씨. 그다음에 목사랑 키 헷갈려 진짜. 동료 다시 데리고 들어와야 돼. 근데 여기 동료들이 아직 개성이 드러나질 않은 건지 개성이 없는 건지 조금 밋밋하더라고. 그래서 누굴 데려가야지 꿀잼인지 모르겠어요. 일단 목사가 이쪽 관련된 퀘스트가 하나 있고, 그 다음에 엘리가 좀 성깔이 있어 보이니까 얘를 데려가자. 뉴베가스 정도만 됐으면 좋겠다고. 아직은 초반부라서 잘 모르겠어요. 애들이 좀 밋밋해요.
Something on your mind?
치매 걸린 뮤턴트 할머니. 아유 깜짝이야. 지금 내 퀘스트 쫓아가는 게 이쪽 메인. 메인부터 하고 주변 어차피 주변 둘러보면서 또 퀘스트 받으니까. 뭐야 여기 내려가는 길이 어디야? 아 저기요 이거를 아 여기 있구나 여기. 깜짝 놀랐네. 영구적 불구. 이속 저하하는 대신에 특전을 하나 얻을 수 있습니다. 뭐 굳이?
Hold on there.
아니 특전 점수 주는 게 너무 디버프가 심해. 그래서 받을지 말지 좀 고민이 많이 돼요.
Don't think I've seen you around. That means you must be new to Stellar Bay. You are new here, right?
네, 처음 왔어요.
I knew it. See, I made what you call a logical deduction. You must have seen those UDL gunships on your way in. There's only 3 of them these days. Still, they tend to scare folk off. You may not have heard, you being new, but Stellar Bay hardly ever gets off-road traffic. Us being cut off by the board and all. Which means I never get to do this part, but I've been practicing, so here goes. On behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries, welcome to Stellar Bay, home of the freshest sal tuna in Halcyon. Please state your name for the records.
그냥 내 이름 되죠.
Swell. There's one for the logs. I'm even gonna give you your own entry code. I'm not supposed to do that. It's against procedure, but Mr. Sanjar isn't so strict about the rules.
연어
here.
먹고 싶다고?
Besides,
연어
I've
통조림
got a
하나
lot of
줄까?
empty entries to fill. We don't get ship traffic in town. Only off-roaders who do make
여기는
it out here
외부인이
are
오질
sublet.
않는
They got a
곳이래요.
base in Fallbrook. And thank the stars for them, or we would have run out of Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch years ago. Oh, that'll just make Mr. Sanjar's day if you tell him. The board makes up lots of nasty stories about raptidons and cannibals and whatnot. But that's all outside our walls. Mostly. Oh, sure. It makes Stellar Bay sound like a rotten place, but it's not so bad. Get a good breeze going, and the sulfur smell mostly covers up the fishy smell.
Ah, the nostalgic stench of home. Can't say I miss the day-to-day of living in Edgewater.
Anyway, Mr. Sanjar's got lots to say on that subject. Kinda goes over my head, though. Mr. Sanjar will be mighty pleased to meet you. If you see him over at headquarters, maybe you could tell him I did a bang-up job of welcoming you? Oh, and if you're headed that way, maybe you could do me a favor?
뭔데?
I got this Rizzo's Rangers tossball poster coming in on the next sublight shipment, signed by the Black Hole himself. Only I haven't heard anything in a while. You think you could check with Celia to see if it's come in? That's Bertie Holcomb, only one of the greatest tossball hackers ever. Everyone's heard of him, even on Monarch. We still get some of the games. You been living in a sulfur pit or something? On account of him being the best hacker who ever played, nothing gets by him. He sucks up every ball that comes his way. Whatever you say, I could talk tossball for hours.
토스볼이라고 좀 무슨 얘네들이 좋아하는 스포츠 같은 게 있나 본데 뭐 어떤 식으로
couldn't
하는
really
건지
say. I'm just a fan
얘기를
of the
들었을
game.
땐 감이 잘 안 와.
But the fancy collector types say the more people see these things, the less valuable they are. And I figure my poster's been passed around by more than a few people by now. Thanks a bunch! Celia works for Mr. Sanjar in the MSI building next to the bar. She's always there, so you can't miss her.
그럼 찾아보고 공부하라고요? 아니 대충 이런 식으로 언급은 되는데 감이 안 오잖아요? 뭐야 이거 색깔 뭐냐? 색깔 당황스러운데? 핑크한 게 이쁘다고? 취존.
Wouldn't mind smelling like Saltuna if we could sell more of Fresh blood at last. Stellar Bay could use some.
Watch your step if you venture outside the walls.
뭐야, 쟤 멋있게 생겼는데 너는 왜 이래?
Well, well. Isn't often we see new folk in Stellar Bay. First drink's on me, stranger. Enjoy. If you plan on sitting through Nyoka's stories, you might could use a few.
I could use a few and telling them myself.
Now what can I do for you? Anyone who spends any amount of time in this bar is bound to get to know Nyoka, on account of her being here so often herself. And I don't mean that unkindly. Anyone who's rid us of as many beasts as you have is entitled to a few drinks. Something else I can do for you?
그래요. 저는 매스 이펙트 생각 많이 나는데.
Not since Amber Heights. These days we have more leaving than coming. Off to join the Iconoclasts or some such. But it had a fancy ring to it. Name's the first advertising anyone sees, after all. Nope. But a man can dream.
얘지 메인 케인 내가.
And the little bastard's slippery, right? On account of its blood. So it's sliding. All over the place. Trying to crawl away. Getting so I can't tell the blood from the mud. Don't interrupt, it's rude. But I gotta get in there. Get right in that baby rap's stomach and dig it out. If so much as a drop of stomach acid got on that medallion, shit, I don't know what I'd do. Might be I'd hunt every damn rapt out there. Right. What are you staring? Wait. You ain't from around here. Who are you? Ooh, charmer. Don't get a lot of that around here. Folks mostly grump at me about how I should join the MSI payroll. Nice change of pace. Buy me a drink, will you?
뭐? 얼만데 이거?
Outstanding!
까짓거 한 잔 산다.
What are you doing in Stellar Bay, stranger?
너 찾으러 왔어.
Well. Let's get down to brass nuts then, shall we? Wait, that ain't it. Brass rats? Let's talk business. I'm headed back out there after I sober up. You want a guide sooner than that? You have to get me something to
붉은 머리
clear my
흑인
head.
주정뱅이. 동료가 될 모든 것을 갖췄다고? 얘가 마지막 동료일까?
Outstanding! Our dispensary here maintains a stock of, well, I don't rightly know what they are. Steroid or caffeine somethings? Pills. They're very good. I'm cut off for the month, on account of needing one just about every damn day. But I'm sure you've got your wily ways. Fetch me one and we'll be all set.
애가 상태가 많이 안 좋은데?
Well, they work. We got a deal or what?
Watch your step if you venture outside the walls.
You don't look like Sublight. Must be freelance.
We don't get many outside.
New face, huh? You from Off-World? A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Here, let me buy you a drink. Consider it an MSI welcome.
동료의 다양성을 맞추기 위해 아시아인 한 명, 백인 한 명, 흑인 한 명 맞춰달라고요? 아시아인이 없는데? 대신에 PC에 극에 달한 로봇을 드리겠습니다.
Me and my friends have taken our destiny into our own hands. We're untethered, free of responsibility and worldly cares. Well, as long as we don't run out of bits. But until the windfall's gone, we're riding high. See, we just walked out on our work. Had enough, we did. So now we're striking.
실사 하나, 제노 하나 넣어달라고요.
It ain't any one thing but the sum of it all, having to work longer shifts for less bits. And the wages we do earn don't cover as much as they used to. Our supervisor, Velma, goes on and on about quarterly profits and meeting quotas. But that ain't what Sanjar promised us. Velma refuses to negotiate, so we're refusing to work. We won't go back until she agrees to pay us fair and proper. Us on Monarch, we're free from the board, you know? We have the right to lobby for better hours and pay. I wouldn't doubt it. You look like the type who tends to come out on top. Not like us cogs, trying to be the squeaky wheel but just getting deadlocked. It's been days, but Velma won't even
동성애자?
hear
걔
us out.
있잖아. 처음에
Maybe you could
만난
just make her
동료.
listen to our demands. You would do that? We sure are lucky you decided to come up to the patio today. I knew drinking up here would be good for more than the view. Sure thing. What did you want to discuss?
협상해준다고 했으니까 뭐 거짓말은 하지 말고.
If I knew that, I'd have tried it. Talking reasonably got me nowhere. Maybe
제가
you'll fare
PC하다고요.
better.
지금 PC를
The others
강요당했어요.
wanted to blackmail her. But we're above that. Besides, them are just rumors. We got no proof they're true. I would never endorse such an untoward tactic, you know, but, well, there's rumors that Velma's taking a cut off the profits. So far, it's just gossip, you know, but if there was any proof to be had, it'd be in the Saltuna warehouse, I reckon.
It'll be good to get some steady pay again.
Thanks for the help. Still, this is a nice break from the warehouse.
야, 니들 거기 있어.
Sure.
쫓아오지 마.
I'm going. I am en route, Captain.
특이한 거요? 아니요, 저는 그냥 특이한 거? 아니에요, 특이하진 않아요. 대신에 그런 건 있겠죠, 이제. 뭐야 이거, 몽댕이가 왜 이렇게 생겼어?
We're not the best equipped, but scouting for rapids keeps us on our toes.
RPG 같은 경우는 붙잡으면 시간이 오래 걸리는데
Fresh blood at last.
그런 거를 위주로 하다 보니까
Could I
좀
get another advance?
그렇게 된 거겠지.
Just make sure it's properly logged.
사실 방송용으로 RPG가 그렇게 좋은 건 아니니까요.
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me. Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself? Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate. But if you're here for him, I suppose that means you aren't here for Saltuna.
그래, 한번 이거 해보자. 이상한 음식 먹이면 찌를지도 모를 거예요.
Yes, that's it. Channel your anger. I only wish I could do the same. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious. Yes, freedom is a tempting ideal, but a rather costly paramour.
Exactly. Intellectualism fuels the train to mankind's future, but the tracks the train runs on are forged from practicality.
What?
Yes, it's as though the good vicar has plucked the very words from my brain.
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
얘는 또 회사에
On
다시
our terms, mind you.
소속되고 싶어하네.
Ingenious plan? Don't get me wrong, I'm starting to admire your sand, but I bet you could overcomplicate a sisty sandwich.
What a charmingly roguish turn of phrase. Allow me to express my thanks at your confidence and assure you that my plan is indeed sufficiently complicated.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended. With a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
Never realized fighting the bureaucracy could be this interesting.
It is quite the rush. An ordinance, of course. We do things in a civilized fashion here, not like Graham's iconoclasts.
Of course he wants to fight bureaucracy with paperwork. I should have known.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you just crawled out from under a rock. Forms and procedures are everything in Halcyon. And this one is located in the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. And these days, it's overrun with marauders and raptidons. Do be careful. I've lost more than a few people to marauders and raptidons out there. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous
위험한
information.
정보가 있으니까 삭제해달라고?
Perhaps you could
이거를
delete
내가
it so it doesn't fall
찾아서
into the
돈
wrong
달라고 할 수 있지 않을까?
hands. What can I do for you? Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes. I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws.
의뢰주를 협박할 생각이냐고? 아니 협박이 아니고 그냥 위험 수당을 조금 더 챙겨달란 얘기지.
Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. But back then, it was known as Terra 1. As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards. And as the other
두 사람은
corporations
대팔
began to
생각하는데
tally their
착하다고요?
losses,
그럼요.
they decided
저는
to pull
의뢰주와의 의리를 지키는 사람이니까요.
Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to.
And how did that work out?
Most regard Monarch as a lost cause. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up. It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms. That's what I thought. But the senior executives laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else. Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI.
Must have pissed off some real big suits to get stuck with that.
On the contrary, I wrote lots of very important reports on behalf of top MSI officials before I was able to achieve this position. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages. I don't think I realized how far they'd stoop. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws. I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently.
그래서 이쪽으로 오는 비행선이 아예 없었다고 그랬구나.
Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Without the board, chaos would overtake the system. Working within the established order isn't a principle to snub one's nose at, Captain.
If you can't beat him, might as well join him and reach into their pockets.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation.
그러게 돌아갈 가치가 있나?
I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship.
Don't get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes, it'll be easier to explain once we have the Bolt 52. My hope is to
저게
maintain the
이세아에
reforms we've
들어가기
managed
위한
here. Who knows?
협박할 수 있는 뭔가
Perhaps
좋은
once we're
소재인 것
restored, we
같은데
could spread
저게
them to
뭔지는
other
정확하게 얘기를 안
corporations.
해주네.
It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
A necessary evil for the greater good of society.
That's exactly how the board describes it. Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way. He and his followers call themselves the Iconoclasts. Lawless anarchists, all of them. If anyone on Monarch deserves the reputation the board's pinned on us, it's them.
I will admit, I am keen to meet their leader.
Well, be careful what you wish for. Graham has a habit of ruining everything, and everyone around him. It isn't just that they drain our people and resources. Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all as destructive rebels and pushes us further from the rest of the colony. He's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
What can I do for you? I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff?